I always flash back to that time that you tried to tell me that you were a type A.
I still believe I'm a mix, but okay.
Shake it off. Shake it off.
It's like, well, you solve it.
Yeah, it wasn't because he was taking the initiative. It was because Ilya was like, well, if you won't give me your address, figure it out. Hello, and you're very welcome to Yap Island, the romance and romantasy podcast celebrating our big feelings from books, TV, and movies. I'm Amanda.
I'm Antonia.
And this week we are yapping all things Heated Rivalry, the book. This week we are focusing mainly on chapters 15 to 22, in line with the episode 5 of the show, with a focus on how the book was adapted into the TV show. But we have read the entire thing, so if you haven't and you want to, maybe come back, pause and come back later once you have. We'll swear, so please make sure that you're listening somewhere that's okay. And lastly, we would be extremely grateful if you could help us with all the things. So signing up for notifications wherever you're listening so that you don't miss the next episode. If you could leave us, ideally, a 5-star review, that would really help us with the algorithm gods, and we would be so freaking grateful. And you can also follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at Yap Island Pod, and that's where we post the schedules. So if you want to see what's up and coming, that's your best place to find out. Okay, shall we get going, Antonia?
Let's go. Head in.
Okay, first impressions, chapters 15 to 22, lining up with episode 5 of the book. How did you enjoy this bit?
I love that. Was fucking dizzy.
Yes. Oh, it's huge. So much
happens.
Especially because last episode we were covering literally 3 chapters, and now we're covering, what is it, 7? That's a jump.
That's a jump. But somehow it looks bigger when you read. It just, the amount of
it is. The amount of pages is significantly bigger.
Yeah, but then I don't know. Yeah, I would be like, that's half a book for me. Just the amount of events.
Yeah, how they managed to squeeze it into one episode of television, I do not know.
No.
Because not that much gets cut. I don't think anything gets cut significantly from the show.
I don't think so. Like, how is it possible that we get Ilya's dad dying, Tampa,
breakup with Rose,
and then we also get like the last few bits is
Shane being knocked out.
Yes, thank you. Yes, Shane being knocked out, and
Scott kissing Kip.
Yes, and I'm going to the cottage. How does that all happen in just one episode?
It's crazy. It's insane. The fact that it starts with Shane breaking up with Rose, and it ends with him coming to the cottage. These men have taken 10 years to get to this point, and now they are just galloping towards the finish line.
Fast.
Yeah, like a red rag to a bull. They're just shooting forward.
Yes.
Yeah. I love it. I do. Yeah, I've said this a lot, but I really love the fact that when we read the books, we get these inner monologues and we understand so much more. Mm-hmm. Even if it's just a confirmation, because the actors do such a good job. We understood most of this from their facial expressions. So even if it's just confirmation, I am so grateful to have this text to reference and figure out like exactly what they were thinking when that happened and exactly what they were thinking when that happened. And I think you had said before, the book, there's a lot of key moments that we only see from Shane's POV. So a lot of the big moments, we're getting Shane's understanding of the situation.
Yeah.
So if we're making wishes and dreams, Rachel Reid, if you could do a Stephanie Meyer and do like a Midnight Sun where we get Heated Rivalry opposites. So if it's a Shane POV, we get Ilya's POV. If it's an Ilya POV, we get Shane's POV. I'd buy it. Whatever you want to charge me, take my money, take my salary, just give us. Even if you just release them on the blog, like the Vegas remix. Yeah. That's the only other thing that I can ask for, and I'm going to shoot my shot.
Please, universe, start listening.
Please. Okay, should we dig into chapter 15?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, so we're picking up 1 week later from the club scene that we ended on last time. Shane and Rose are having dinner. And I did note he's surprised that it is just the two of them, because usually like Rose's entourage is with them. And I'm wondering, is that how it lasted so long? Because he never had to, if they were never one-on-one, he didn't have, like, he had enough distractions. There was enough busyness around their relationship that he never really had to sit and think about it. So I thought it was really interesting that he's like, oh, we're going to just be the two of us.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be honest. I don't think, even if he thought about it, I think it would take him ages to even decide to finish things.
Agreed. But I just,
But yes, it definitely means, because they're always so busy, there's always other people, the relationship they don't have time to actually sit down and talk about it.
Yeah.
To develop in either way. Yeah.
He's never having to focus solely on her, because it's a group setting all the time. And I guess that just disguises even more the parts that he doesn't want to look at. It just gives him that leeway to not analyse anything. Yeah. After that, things go pretty much the same as the show.
I do like one thing he does, because we get a lot of his inner monologues. And I do like him also understanding his sexual performance has never been the best with girls. And a girl like her, like Rose, she will notice. So he was like, what can I do?
Yeah.
Poor man. There's nothing you can do, Shane.
No, because that's the thing. Like, it's just not for you. And she says, like, Rose does say that in the book as well as the show. A problem is something you can fix. This isn't something you can fix. This is just how it is. Yeah. And then when she says, have you ever been with a man? His inner monologue says, like, he's never been faced with, like, something along the lines of, he's never faced such a direct accusation.
Yes.
And then he realizes it's not an accusation. She's just trying to understand him. She's not trying to judge him. But even now, that's what he thinks, being asked if he's been with a man is.
Yes. Yeah.
That it's not just a natural part of his life. It's an accusation that someone is hurling at him. I guess like they would hurl the insults on the ice.
True. But it's also that part of him always being defensive whenever something like that comes up, because he feels like he needs to be like that, right?
He needs to
with
be
his work.
type.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do also think as well, like, Shane's default is defensive when he's asked something that he's not thought about.
Fair enough.
If you're, like, if you're asking him about something that he's not planned ahead on how to answer that question.
True.
He's automatically just going to like, oh, I don't like it, you know, because I do think that's his personality, and I understand it. I do the same thing.
Well, yeah, I do love the lines. They're so similar to what happened in the show. And Rose is just like in the show, she's really understanding. She's just really there as his friend and wants to continue to be friends with him, and is lovely. I wish, part of me really wishes Rachel Reid had decided to do the same thing for Ilya, because I think there's a level of even unfairness. Shane gets all the love from his parents. Shane gets love, like a really good friends. When they're friends, they're really good friends. And I'm like, why doesn't Ilya get the same?
Not a huge spoiler, but tiny spoiler for the long game. That will also play a part in the long game. So I don't know if she devised the sequel at this point, but that is definitely how she imagines their support systems. Ilya is almost completely isolated with nobody truly in his corner, and Shane gets everybody in his corner.
It's not even fair. I know life isn't fair, but I don't. Sometimes I'm like,
it's much more complex than that. It's not as straight-laced as that. And it does have repercussions for both of them. So Shane doesn't get off like scot-free, but yeah, he it's definitely like a core part of their makeup as people and their story together.
Okay, fair enough. There's a point.
But I'm the same. I really miss Svetlana in the book. I need somebody to care about him, and we don't get that. Other than Shane, nobody cares for him. Yeah. Speaking of Svetlana, we do. This is the first time we actually get her on the page, right? Like this is the first time she's physically with him.
Yes.
And similar to the show, they have hooked up. They are chilling in bed afterwards. Ilya lets her get dressed. She says, like, are we going to do anything or should I get dressed? And he thinks, oh yeah, just get dressed. I'm hungry. And then he realizes that he would never say that to Shane. And then this is similar to last episode where we had Shane thinking, no one makes me feel like Ilya Rozanov. This time, Ilya realizes no one sets him on fire like Shane Hollander. And then he starts to panic that Shane will bring Rose to the All-Star game, or worse, he'll marry her.
Yes. But I think it's funny, right? Because for Shane, he couldn't stop. Like, there was something that happened there where he couldn't stop thinking about it. He couldn't even have other conversations. And even Ilya picked up, hey, is everything all right? But then here, you do see the same thing, but it's kind of different because for him it's like, well, are they still in a relationship? They aren't. I don't know. The questions are different.
Yeah, it's like he's realizing it at the point where he believes it truly is impossible because Shane has a girlfriend. So Shane was realizing it where they did think it was impossible because they're rivals and Shane believes he's not gay. But I think it is a little bit worse for Ilya because he doesn't know that they've broken up. So he's thinking, I have figured this out in myself at the exact wrong time because you have a girlfriend. And this is the other thing. I don't think this is explicitly said in the book, but if Shane does marry her, Ilya will have to see it, There will be publicity around it because she's a huge movie star. Like,
it would be everywhere.
Yeah, I think her equivalent, because I think we're supposed to believe that she plays Mystique in the X-Men movies, which would make her equivalent actress Jennifer Lawrence. So if sort of at the height of the X-Men franchise, Jennifer Lawrence is marrying a famous hockey player, that's going to be all over social media, probably some traditional media.
Yeah.
He will not be able to escape it. And he didn't realize that Shane was the one until this was in place. So
true.
I would be melting down to Ilya.
Yeah. Yeah, same. Poor man.
Yeah, but it's not even that it's just not the right time, it's that he genuinely thinks there will never be a right time now. Especially if he thinks that, if he even considers that Shane is going to marry Rose.
Because that's the thing. I think, that's definitely in his head. I think it's just even worse, the fact it happened right after they had a girls' conversation. It would just be playing so much in my mind.
Oh, you thought I've never had a girlfriend? Well, let me go get one. It feels like it's not at all that.
It's not,
but it would feel like retaliation, right, for that conversation.
Exactly. But yeah, poor Ilya. That side of things.
Yeah. Chapter 16. Finally, we can all sigh a collective of relief because it's January 2017. We are in Tampa, Florida. And Shane is finally admitting to himself that there is something there with Ilya, that he doesn't want to lie to himself anymore. And that's great. But then we jump to Ilya's POV and Ilya's sad that there can't ever be anything with Shane. And we're just screaming, talk to each other.
Talk to each other. They do talk. Sometimes it annoys me in some books where they prolong that part for a really long time.
Yeah.
And in the book, it didn't take that long.
No, it's quite rapid.
Yeah, thankfully, they speak and and he learns they're not together. Yeah, I was quite happy. I still cackled with new clothes, and I saw other people, like Rose's friends, and they dress so well, and I decided it is time. It is time to end this.
It's so similar. Ilya is frantically trying to find out what's happening with Rose, and Shane is doing everything but explicitly say, I'm not with her anymore.
Yeah, because that's the thing. In his head, it didn't even I don't think he's
thinking that.
No.
Yeah. He doesn't realize he has to put Ilya at ease.
Yeah, because that's the thing. They weren't together probably for a while. Do you know how long it passed? It's probably there, but I didn't check how many months or weeks have passed.
Between Boston and Tampa.
Yeah, between the breakup.
Honestly, I think it's like November is the tuna meltdown, and February is Tampa. So it's 3, maybe 4 months, depending on when in the month it happens. Okay. Oh no, it's January 2017 is Tampa, so it's 3 months. Yeah.
Okay. And I think because they only got it's not that long, but anyway, this to say, yes, he didn't know. It's not in the news, because that's the thing. It's not in the news. So the man is just there thinking they're together, and this other man who has broken up with Rose for a while. In his head, it's been for a while. Right? So
I think it is like, I think we're supposed to understand that it is still January. So they break up in January, and then he goes to Tampa in January.
Okay, cool. So it's not that long, to be fair. But it's just not thinking like that. It's just not.
No, and I think the other thing that we need to factor in is as well, Shane is very much like a creature of habit, and he's never, like, there's never been a girl on the scene that Ilya's known about. So I think you would convince yourself that this girl must be really special, and so he is going to marry her, because he doesn't play around. He doesn't just date people for the sake of dating them. He's never that guy. So I think for Ilya, even though he hasn't been with Rose that long, just the fact that Shane has any women around means that this must be serious, because Shane doesn't do that, you know?
No, yeah, I agree. I completely agree with that. In his head, he's not even thinking about it. He doesn't even think he needs to say anything at that stage, because things are over.
No, he's like, well, I'm not with Rose. Like, that's a completely different point. Like, he doesn't think that he doesn't think that you'd have to tell Ilya. I also, the fucking Shane's outfit sounds so ugly. When he's done the whole, like, I hired a stylist, and then we've already gotten the description of his outfit. I'm like, I don't think a stylist put this together. It sounds so gross. And remember that whole phase of men not wearing socks with their shoes? I'm so glad we're past that. I know, I'm so glad we're past that. I cannot.
You always know the smell there, Jesus. Anyway.
And then yeah, when Ilya's panicking about Shane saying he's engaged, he also thinks it's along the lines of, like, he's going to say, I don't need you anymore. And that's Ilya's, like, fear, right?
Yes.
Is that he will be abandoned.
Yes.
And explicitly thinking that broke my heart. But then Shane finally confirms that he is no longer with Rose, and Ilya has to cover his hand over his mouth because his smile is so ridiculous. Yeah.
The big relief. Oh,
yeah.
Bless him.
And then we get this big happy Russian at the pool playing with the kids, which again is pretty much the same as the show.
Yeah.
A shark is in the water.
Yeah. Asking money to Shane, and Shane is like, don't they pay you?
Oh my God. Shane is so much funnier in the books. He's just like, he's just like, are the Boston Rangers not paying you anymore? And then Ilya hugs him, so he's dripping wet.
Yes.
Because he just couldn't help himself. And he knew that he could get away with it just being, Ilya Rozanov is just a dick.
It's just exactly like, making him wet. I think it's so cute.
But he just wanted to touch him.
He just wanted to touch him. And that we do get other parts in the book where he does that. He just touches him, but he knows it can also be perceived in a different way, which was the case because they're these rivals. So they get away with a few things.
Yeah, like when they're, I think as well, it's like Ilya's personality is he does just take the piss out of literally everyone. And Shane's personality is so, he's contained, he's the good boy, he's well-mannered. So that is, if you wanted to annoy Shane, that is how you would annoy him. And of course, Ilya would do that because that's his personality and they're rivals. But yeah, like when they then play together in the All-Stars match. And just like the show, we get him kissing the side of Shane's cheek because people will just write it off. But he just couldn't help himself.
Yeah, couldn't help himself. Oh, poor man.
Doing that. Yeah, and we said this before because I love it. But Ilya changes position on the ice just so that he can play with Shane because he's been waiting such a long time to do it.
And they have so much chemistry playing together. It's really lovely to read. I love them.
Because we find out they hadn't even really practiced properly. But they just read each other's minds. And again, we're getting so many signposts that this isn't just sexual chemistry. They know each other inherently at this point. Like they know what the other one is going to do because that's the thing. They'll have been studying each other's hockey for the whole time they've played together. So that they know how to compete against each other. But then they'll also know each other personality. And those two things are just creating this absolute fire on the ice.
True. And
then we get to your favorite scene. I'm sure this was your favorite scene.
Oh, the Tampa one when they are, yes,
on the
when
beach
they go to the
together.
Beach. Yes, I love it. You know that I have to be like, where were we? What happened after? So many things happen.
Side note, can I just say every time we have this conversation where you're like, did this happen? When did that happen? What chapter are we on? What book are we on? What episode are we on? I always flash back to that time that you tried to tell me that you were a type A. And I'm like, girl.
I still believe I'm a mix, but okay. But definitely a type B.
Talking of delusion, let's get back to Shane and Ilya.
I do think there are some traits. But anyway, yes, I do love that scene in Tampa when they finally meet after the celebration. It's so cute. Just seeing them having, like, they look to see if there's anyone around, but there isn't, so they can actually just talk. And is Shane finally ready to say a few things? And they're checking where are you going after to see if there's any time for them to actually speak.
Yeah, like when do you fly out? Yeah.
Oh. And it's so quiet as well. Even reading in my head, I just feel like they're just like peaceful.
Yeah, it's like
and
a calm.
Quiet. Yes.
Yeah. I do think it's really interesting because in the show we get I Found You. But I don't think I understood the implication that Shane had been avoiding Ilya. But we find out in the book that he had been avoiding Ilya intentionally because he's worried that he'll look at him in a certain way and people will realise, and then there's so much press around. But then we also get his thought of another reason why he's avoiding Ilya is because he doesn't want to fuel the narrative of them being rivals, but he also doesn't want to change it yet because it's good cover. Now, obviously, by the time we get to the cottage, they explicitly have that conversation about changing the narrative. Yeah. But it's so interesting that at this point, Shane is still thinking, we need to hide. We need to keep this cover. This is the best way for people to never believe it because we're still taking baby steps. Huge revelations have been made and they've come so far from pretending they hate each other, but there's still such a long way to go before they're ready to even consider that other people might find out about this, you know?
True. Agreed.
I love the fact that he doesn't even need to look to know that Ilya is the one beside him because Ilya's presence he feels it.
Speaks for itself.
Yeah. And I love as again, I don't think there was a way to portray this in the show, but when Ilya hooks his thumb into Shane, Shane's first instinct was to pull away, but instead he closes his eyes and tried not to hope for impossible things because his reluctance was almost muscle memory before. We're both in tuxedos out in public was like a physical muscle memory.
Yes.
And so it's really nice to see him acknowledge physically he wants to pull away, but emotionally he wants to just bask in this and try not to wish it could be more. And then Shane finally is the one to say, "What room are you in?"
Yes,
because
for the first
time,
now, we get the man asking for a room number. Although, no, it is true. I was going to say, there's been other times where Shane had to be the one organizing things in the book. I don't think it happens in the show.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, this is
well,
the
that was
first
only
time
because he wouldn't give Ilya his address.
True. He's like, well, you solve it.
Yeah, it wasn't because he was taking the initiative. It was because Ilya was like, well, if you won't give me your address, figure it out. And then Shane was like, no, let me.
True. But yeah, this time we get the room number coming from Ilya's mouth.
1217.
1217, yes. Love it.
Which is chapter 17. A little fun fact. People have figured out that, I don't know if this was an accident. I'm undecided about whether or not I think this was intentional, but 12 would have been the age that Ilya's mother passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And 17 is the age that he meets Shane for the first time.
Oh.
So people think that was intentionally because 12 was the last time he had someone in his life that cared about him. And 17
yeah,
is then the reawakening of that for Ilya. So I don't know. It could be intentional. It's super cute either way.
Yeah. Yes.
But
or it could just be some numbers. Rachel Reid just brought it up. It
just could be, yeah.
And we love finding meanings because that's just who we are.
Yeah, I do think that. Yeah, because I feel like a Heated Rivalry with Swifties, with Rebecca Yarros is starting to do that now as well with her book releases. Like she'll Easter egg things. Yeah. And sometimes I do just think some of them are just a coincidence, you know, like we're so trained to look for the meaning that we find the meaning that was actually just a coincidental happy accident.
But yeah.
The conversation in room 1217 is almost the same. There's a few sort of small differences. We don't get Shane saying, like, would you want to be more? And Ilya saying, we can't.
Yeah.
They pretty much, it cuts off where Ilya says, like, I'm not worth it. And then Shane climbs into his lap. But it's, again, we get this pretty explicitly from Connor Story's performance. But we do see in his inner monologue that he's actively trying to hide his emotions from Shane. The minute Shane walks into that room, he's trying to put all of that bravado at the beginning is completely fake because he's so overwhelmed by the level of feelings that he has that he instinctively, again, I think that's his muscle memory, is if I am emotional, I will be punished by my father. So I instinctively just try to hide it. And that's why he has this mask of, I don't give a shit. Like, people can boo at me. I don't care.
Yeah. And he says, that's not it. And Shane is the one that tries to take away the Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Say, this is not
Shane
it.
is the one.
Him.
Yeah, that is pushing. I see you. I see who you really are. To make Ilya finally open up, which thank God. Thank fucking God.
Thankfully it does open up, and even he still thinks it's impossible.
Yeah, they both are still convinced that it's impossible, but they're just almost taking comfort in knowing that the other one feels something.
I think it's interesting, because we did speak. Ilya has all of these bursting feelings coming out. Vega's remix also showed he has a lot of feelings for Shane. And when he's actually confronted with Shane finally saying the words he's been thinking for a really long time, and he said, it's like, no, we have to shut down. We can't continue with this. Although he's not saying,
but his body language almost.
Yeah.
Oh, God. And even the, like, when he, like, waves his hand, like his mother's death was nothing, but he's thinking it's actually the exact opposite. So it's just this constant hide. Even, I can't even show emotion over my mother dying, which anybody would be emotional, but he's even that. I have to hide it. And then we get them cuddling after.
One thing I'll say, and this is just a bit of annoyance, is when he asks, this happened in the show as well, but when Shane asks, what would happen to you if people found out, like what would happen to him in Russia? And I'm like, Shane.
Yeah, you should know by now.
Yes, I mean, there's internet. You can Google what happens.
That's the thing. We're in 2016. You have the internet on your phone, for sure.
He's a millionaire as well. So
yeah.
It's just like little bits annoy me. Unless he really wants to see Ilya putting out the words, like to somehow make him think about it, which I don't think it is. So that's why I'm still like, oh.
Yeah, I don't think it's that. I guess maybe he's trying to figure out, is what I've read true? Is it as extreme as I've read? Would that be the case for you because you are famous and a hockey player, or would it be worse for you because you're famous and a hockey player? Would your family support you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess at this point he doesn't understand. I don't think he understands at all about Ilya's family dynamic. So
they still haven't had a proper conversation about it. Because I do think this one is more on Ilya, because Ilya doesn't want to talk about it. And even if Shane brings it up, because Shane has brought it up sometimes talking about his parents, and he just doesn't want to speak about it.
I don't necessarily think, though, this isn't a judgment on Shane, but I don't think Shane's earned it up until now. So this Tampa conversation is the first, like, deep and meaningful conversation they've ever had. And when Ilya was trying to find out about Shane with the "you like girls, I never see you with girls," Shane shut that down and, turned it into nothing. And Ilya said, "I like you," and Shane says, "Lucky me." Like, I don't think we could ever expect Ilya to be vulnerable with Shane before this point, because they're not friends. They should be.
Sure.
But Shane's never given him any reason to say, "You can trust me with your innermost thoughts and fears, and I will treat them with care." Not that he wouldn't, but he's never given that impression to Ilya. So, like, I guess I'm like, why would Ilya have had that conversation before now?
Yeah, I mean, they're just not friends. Which is crazy.
Yeah, and it's a big thing to say, "Oh, by the way, I had a really traumatic childhood." That's not something that you tell people, but you tell your very close friends. You don't.
No, yeah, and that I'm not expecting that. I'm expecting more of, I'm just not really good with my parents at the moment. You don't need to delve much into it, but you can let the other person know, I just don't have the same kind of relationship you have with your parents. And that's it. Like,
I don't know, though, because obviously I do have that situation. I don't bring it up to people who aren't my close friends. I don't bring it up unless I'm directly, it would be awkward. Like, I can't lie. I would never lie about it and pretend that my situation was different. But I will avoid bringing attention to it. Yeah.
Definitely. I'm not saying that. I guess they've just been meeting for so long. They have these big feelings, but they're just not friends, and it annoys me.
Okay, fair. They do hook up, then they cuddle afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, right, I am 99% sure that this line, when they are talking about Ilya's cross, and then they're talking about religion, and Ilya says, you believe if you put your right skate on before your left, you will play terrible. And Shane replies, that's just science. That happens.
Is it?
That happens between Scott and Kip in the cafe, in the smoothie shop.
Oh, I forgot that.
You love the Skip episode as well. It's not based on religion. It's when they're talking about head injuries and Scott's done his, can I read my emails here? And then they have their little conversation. I'm sure this line gets like requisitioned to Scott and Kip, which I think is adorable because it's an insight into how hockey players live. But there's been a couple of things, because obviously we said before about when Ilya raises the cup, the Stanley Cup, for the first time in the show, he shouts like, "For you, mama." And that didn't happen. It was Scott that shouts, "For you, mum," or thinks, "For you, mum." And then Ilya was like screaming, "Fuck you," like something akin to "fuck you." I think this is really cool that Jacob Tierney has like repurposed some lines that can be interchangeable with other people.
Agreed. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Ilya is the one to say, "When will I have you for as long as I want? We could go somewhere." Yes. Shane's buzzing at the prospect, but it is Ilya's idea to begin with, which I think is incredible.
But then at the same time, it's like, it's never possible.
They both
bringing logic.
I think Ilya is like, we could just go to like an island, and Shane says, but we just need one Canadian with a smartphone, a camera phone. But I think it's funny how the dynamic has shifted, because Ilya is the one trying to think how they could make it happen, and Shane is the one saying it's impossible. But then later, Shane will be the one to make it possible, and Ilya will be the one that wants to say no initially. It's not until Scott and Kip that he gets the courage to say yes.
True.
So it's, again, I think this is the cuddling after scene is Ilya's feelings just bursting out of him because he can't contain them. But then later he's tried to pack them back inside because he knows this is impossible. And again, like you said before, Shane is then the reason that things actually move forward. He's the person pushing things.
True. Really well done. The man can stop himself.
Yeah. And then it's this time that good night, Shane, good night, Ilya. And Shane's smile is so big. So Ilya's smile was so ridiculous he had to cover his face. But now Shane is glad the hallway is empty when he leaves because his smile is so big it nearly split his face in half.
Oh, so cool.
I know.
So cute.
We said this last week, but Shane is the cutest patootie in the world.
Oh, bless him.
And then chapter 18, we are up to February 2017, and they're finally texting back and forth like normal people who are dating, gossiping about hockey. Shane's wondering, why have we never done this before?
Yes. I like to see that from them. Finally, and it is Ilya who starts. And he's so natural because he's so bored because he hurt himself. And he's like, I just don't have anything to do. Let's talk. And then he starts thinking about phone sex. And then he actually imagines how it would happen. And he's like, why have we never had that?
Yeah. And I love when he thinks about Shane's bedroom.
Yes,
he imagines
exactly.
Shane's bedroom, and it's almost exactly what Shane's bedroom is actually like.
With the plants and all of it.
And his sad little hockey book by the nightstand and his navy blue comforter. Yeah.
Navy blue comforter.
And it's I don't know why, but the bits that I love most are just when they're being just boring couple like things. So, when they were having the tuna melt together and they were like cuddling on the sofa.
Me too.
When they're just texting back and forth.
It's when it shows that it clicks. They have the ground to have a really good relationship if they want it to happen.
Yeah, it is that confirmation that if it wasn't for this rivalry, if it wasn't for the NHL's homophobia, they would just be a normal couple. The fact that they can't have that when we get the little glimpses, they feel so precious because we're not allowed them.
Yes.
And then Ilya is thinking that if he could he's simultaneously thinking, I really want more time with Shane somewhere where we will not be interrupted, but at the same time convincing himself that if he could have this, he could get Shane out of his system. It would be like one last big hurrah, and then he could say goodbye. And
delusional man. But yeah.
Yeah, every time you are with him, you know that you just want more. Every single time you think how you just want even more of this. And so you think that you're going to have a week together and say bye.
Love it.
Yeah. March 2017, Shane goes to Ilya's before the game, which is their sort of like the first time that Shane's been to Ilya's apartment since the last time he ran away from Ilya's apartment. And then we find out that actually in previous years, because they would generally make the playoffs, they will sort of chill out with each other around March to focus on the playoffs. So Ilya even texting Shane to come around now as a surprise, because by now everything's sort of fizzled out so that they can focus. But they need to see each other so much that one, Ilya will say come round, and two, Shane will think fuck it, I'll go, because
it's what it's the same day of the game they're having.
Yeah, that he goes around before the game. Yeah.
Yes. And when I was reading the chapter, I initially thought, he just wants to see him. But then by the end, you realize it's also a level of wanting to shut down his problems, because he's having some issues with his stepmother, and his family issues are still playing. And the new one is that the stepmother wants money and wants to sort her life before the dad is dead.
Yeah. Pretty much trying to vulture around Ilya's money, which I'm very much, why do you think you have a right to his money? He's not your son. Even if he was your son, you wouldn't have a right to his money. But he's not your son. Why do you think? I mean, sure, maybe you married his dad because you thought that would be financial security and safety, but newsflash, it wasn't. That's not Ilya's problem.
That's not, but it doesn't stop her. No, I'm happy the show didn't bring her up, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, we know she's there, but that's it. There's no other instances of her. Yeah.
But I do feel like it's crazy. She thinks it's all right to go up to him and ask him money and expect him to just give. Yeah, poor Ilya.
Yeah. But maybe it is a cultural thing. I don't know. Familial expectations.
I think I would see that, like cultural expectation for the person with money to then help everyone.
Which I'm not saying I'm against, but you can't treat him like shit. And then expect money. Yeah. Like, I don't think you can expect anything anyway, but I do think it is nice when
if the person says
help
no,
each other.
If the person says no, it shouldn't be we'll shut you, like.
Yeah, and it shouldn't just be a constant expectation, because it does feel like they are just constantly looking for more. And you can't treat someone like a fucking dog and then expect them to give a shit about whether or not you have access to money. It's crazy.
Are we? Because I think I'm not fully sure. Is Ilya's mom also Alexi's mom?
Yeah, Alexi's older.
They're both. Yeah, they're both from the same mom. It probably impacted him in a different way. Anyway, but back to Ilya and back to this scene where they have lovely sex. Ooh, lovely, lovely, lovely. But the thing that hit me more in this scene is when Ilya says, right at the end, it's not like he likes to speak with his dad now, because like he's able to have a conversation with him.
Yeah.
Because back then his dad would just probably treat him like shit, but now they're actually talking, and it's crazy because his dad is sick. And it must be horrible to think only when he's sick is when I like him. Ugh.
Yeah. The only time that he's even remotely nice to me. Because he says he was a real asshole when he was himself. So the only way that your dad is nice to you is when he doesn't even know who you are.
That's crazy. That's sad. That's it must be horrible to think like that.
It's heartbreaking.
The guilt. Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess it's not confirmation, but I can see that you could interpret it that way. But there is some part of him now that he's lost his memories that could be a nice person. And so
to think then what made him be a bad person was he knew?
He made a choice to be a bad person because there's goodness in there now that he doesn't remember.
Yeah.
So is it something I did? And we know that's not true, but you would feel some type of way that you contributed to it.
As kids, you a lot of times think, is that really going to make things easy?
No. And then after the game, Alexei calls and he thinks about not answering because he thinks it's just going to be for money. But then he realizes there's one reason Alexei would call that has nothing to do with money. That we don't get confirmation that his dad died. We just have him answering the phone for that reason.
Yeah.
And then Shane, who was surprised that Ilya texted him before the game, is now sad that he didn't text him after because he was expecting him to call him to hook up. But we know obviously he's gone to Russia.
Yeah.
And then it's not until the next day that Shane finds out why Ilya didn't text him and that he's MIA from traveling with the Raiders down to, or the Bears as they are in the book, down to Florida, I think it is. Nashville. He didn't fly with the team to Nashville.
Yeah.
And he calls Ilya and offers to talk. And then 2 days later, Ilya then asks if he can call Shane. And just like in the show, Shane runs down the stairwell and we get the underpass monologue. But we don't have a fucking clue what Ilya said at this point because...
Nothing.
Yeah, we hear it all from Shane's POV. I have to admit, this is one bit that I think the show really, really upped the game. They knocked this out of the fucking park. That whole speech, the way it's filmed, Connor Story's performance, everything just gives you absolute chills.
It just doesn't hit the same.
Because we don't know what Ilya's actually saying. We know that Shane is so surprised to hear Ilya speaking Russian, how much more confident he sounds and how quickly he speaks and all of this kind of thing. And we get Shane picking up on the emotion in Ilya's voice, but we literally have no idea. And then it's Ilya's memory after that because he's worried about admitting that he loves Shane. And he's worried that Shane will have recorded it and then he will translate it and he will know. But
yes.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting because we did speak about it. It was never a fear for Ilya in the show. We just spoke about from
one of our friends
mentioning
said, "Oh, Shane, you're so silly. You should have recorded it." And I was like, absolutely not.
But I was kind of like, what? I don't believe in the book they actually put it there. Was one of Ilya's fears? Yes. Because in my head, I would never think of doing that.
I would never think of it, but I do think that if I had admitted that I loved somebody, the panic station of my brain would
think about it.
Think that they might have. It would never occur to me to do that to somebody else, but I think I'm kind of similar to Ilya in the sense that I am one of those people that is always scanning the environment for danger. I'm always waiting to see what's going to go wrong and planning around what that might be. So I thought this was supernatural that he would panic, that he thought he was safe. What if he wasn't? But then it's that realization that, of course, it's fine because Shane is his friend, and he is finally admitting that Shane is his friend, and that's why he can trust that it wasn't about translation; it was about comfort.
Yes. But yeah, in the book, Shane is the one that comes up with the idea, and he does say when we go to Ilya's POV, we do get kind of like a summary of what he said.
Yeah.
But it was a lot focused on he finally acknowledging he loves Shane, which was kind of cute. And then really sad because he didn't feel like he can say it in English.
He can't say it in English. But he does, in the book, he does say me too in response to Shane's I wish you were here. So in the show, he says that in Russian. And we were so upset that he can't even say me too. But in the book, he does. He says me too in English.
Yeah.
Back to Shane. Because they finally admit that they want to be with the other one.
Yeah.
I mean, not
with
any
probably
like...
wanted... sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. Oh no, when I say like they wanted to be together, not like as a couple, but they just wanted to be in each other's company at that moment. And he was happy to admit that finally. Yeah.
Yes. And I feel like he probably would have liked to continue that conversation. He just couldn't, but because he was completely alone there. He didn't have anyone.
No, because there's no Svetlana. So he was fully on his own in Russia, mourning his father, and probably dealing with even more people coming to him for money. More like, although we don't see the showdown with Alexei, I think we can understand that Book Alexei would still have had a similar conversation with Ilya, you know?
Yes. And one thing in the book, which also probably happened in the show, but not as visual, is Ilya saying, yeah, I'll be there at the end of the week or something. Yeah, I'll be back in a week. After his dad just died. And Shane is like, no, you should take more time. But I think the subline is, I actually want to get away from this as soon as possible.
That this isn't comfort for me. Yeah. Well, this is happening.
Playing a match is actually what is going to give me some kind of comfort. He's going to take me away.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, like we said, we don't see the funeral. We just get Shane checking in after. With an extra call. I love this bit. It breaks me every time. Shane says something about like Ilya shouldn't be alone, and Ilya says, I am not alone, you are here now. Yes.
Yeah.
And then Shane's heart was a gooey puddle. And I know that is so like cheesy, and I don't care. Like Ilya finally saying like, you're here, I'm not alone, I think is fucking huge, because
it is huge.
His whole thing is surviving on his own. His whole thing is, I don't need people. I can do this by myself. And this moment, I am not alone. You're here.
He wanted to call him. Because I don't remember now, but in the TV show, he does call him, but it's after Shane tries to call him, right?
Yeah. So Shane like gets his voicemail, and then Ilya calls him back. And that's when they have their glasses back on, please.
Yeah.
And then Ilya does the stairwell and the monologue, but I'm pretty sure the monologue is after the funeral in the show, whereas in this it's before the funeral. And then that's the last phone conversation that they have in the show. Ilya's just then back. So we get a few more phone calls in this one, because we get this phone call and then we get the Skype.
Whoop, whoop.
And both times I think it's Shane calling Ilya to check in. It is.
And we know that back then, every single time Shane called or Shane messaged, when Ilya was in Russia, he would just kill her. He wouldn't reply. He wouldn't answer. But here, he needs to talk with his man. And I love it.
And he even admits on this phone call that he is like desperate to know what Shane's apartment. He's like, give me the tour, like tell me about your apartment. What does it look like?
Yeah.
I've been wondering for 10 years. And I think before that was always like just logistics to Shane. But he never thought about how that would have, like what that would have meant to Ilya. So it's really nice that Shane is finally realizing what all of his actions over these years, well, like how they've been perceived and how they might have impacted him.
Yes, because it's the thing, Ilya wouldn't speak about it. It's just not his personality.
No, yeah.
And these things would just come out on normal conversations, which was the case. It's like, I want to see because I've never been able to see. And it's like, oh, shoot, I've been to your house. And I never thought how this actually impacted you. Part of me is like, yes, we go to the cottage, but we never see that real damn apartment. Well, in the show, we do.
Because it is just his apartment the whole time. Yeah.
Because I'm like, no, Ilya, that phone sex is not enough. You need to go to that man's house.
Yeah. I mean, that does get resolved in the long game. But yeah, it's definitely just something that has been playing on Ilya's mind this whole time, and it's nice that he's brave enough to voice that.
Yes.
And then we get multiple things that don't happen until the cottage in the show. So we get Shane wishing that Ilya played for a Canadian team because they talk about visa situations. It's on this bit that he says I could marry Svetlana.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more talk about he becoming an American, but there's the relationships between American and Russian are not well, so he's actually fearful of being in America and being a Russian.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of conflicting thoughts there, and then bringing up Svetlana and maybe marry her, but I don't think he's even sure if that would help.
No, because like you said, he definitely has that fear that even though he's a pro athlete, the fact that he's a Russian might not put him in good stead in America itself. And so it solidifies that it is still unsafe for anyone to find out that Ilya is bi, because if he's not secure in his ability to stay in America, he does not want to run the risk of being sent back to Russia after everyone knows.
The stakes are so high for him.
They're so high. And we also get a cottage invite at this point.
We do. It's quite early.
Shane wasn't high.
No.
Yeah. It's totally sober. Shane has thought this through. The cottage is private. Come to my cottage. And he also realizes... like Ilya does shut it down, but I think it's so brave for Shane to have put this out there, because it was Ilya that was like, when can I have you for as long as I want you?
Yes.
Problem solver Shane came up with the goods, but it's like it was safe for Ilya when it was a wish, but when it could be real, Ilya has to shut it down because he can't get his heart involved.
Yes.
And Shane realizes that he wants Ilya to be his boyfriend. He wants comfort from Ilya, not just sex. And I'm like, that's huge to lean into your want for the small things, the other sides of having a partner other than the bedroom, you know?
Exactly.
And he's putting it all out there. Just come to my cottage. He's so brave. He's so fucking brave in this bit.
Shane, the problem solver.
Yeah, he really went into, I can fix this, I really can. And then we get a quick sort of summary in chapter 20 about how Ilya has given his apartment to Alexei. This is slightly different than the show, because he talks about how he can't foresee spending another summer in Russia. The obligation died with his father. Whereas in the show, we get that scene where he's packing Svetlana's there, they're watching the game, and he's packing, and he asks her to get the thing for his niece, suggesting to us that despite his father's death, Ilya is headed back to Russia. I think I don't know. I think if he was planning on going back to Russia, his decision to go to the cottage is then even bigger, because he's breaking that pattern of going to people that hate him, and instead he's going to someone who loves him. But I do enjoy in the book this idea that almost regardless of Shane, Ilya is strong enough to cut ties with this toxicity. That it's his decision that he's come to without it being anyone else's influence, that his father has passed, everybody else treats him like shit, and do you know what? He just doesn't need to spend time with them if they're going to treat him that way. So
I like that. I do like that version. I like how the cottage situation came in the book, and I do like how Ilya decides, to not go to Russia and to actually stay with his man. I do.
Yeah, yeah, it's really sweet. Time for the Skype call. I know that you're excited about this. Remember when Skype was a thing? It's crazy.
Oh, it is. Yes,
I know.
I have the sound now playing in my head. There was like a specific sound.
Yeah. So my sister lives in Canada, and when she first moved over there, Skype is how we would all communicate with her.
Yes.
It was just so normal. Yeah. And now you think, like, I don't even know if Skype is, I think they got rid of it.
Yeah, I think was it with Teams? I don't know. I actually don't know what is used now.
Microsoft definitely owned it. But my sister was fuming because you could buy credit on Skype to call a landline.
Oh my, that was a thing.
I know. And we have an aunt who refuses to get at the internet. So the only way to call her is on the landline. So my sister was absolutely fuming when they got rid of this, because that's the thing. Like, it's not making them any money, so they don't care. But there is still people who don't want to embrace the digital age.
It does. But you know what? There were always problems with Skype.
That's true. Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the phone sex. Great scene. Loved it.
Yeah. Mostly because it's not very explicit. Like they start off angled towards each other's crotch.
Yes.
And then Shane, which is such a lovely parallel, because obviously we find out from Ilya's inner monologue, pre-Tuna meltdown, that he wanted cowboys so that he could look at Shane's face. And now Shane is the one to say, can we change position of the camera so that I can look at your face instead of at your crotch? Which is fucking adorable.
It really is.
Right?
I was like, yes, I love this.
And then Ilya thinks, oh God, like, thank God the camera wasn't on my face when you said that, because then you'd see my sappy expression. So
yes, is the way he's all right with being vulnerable now, saying as his feelings, because Ilya would never say that.
No, like I don't think Ilya would have been the one to suggest they move the camera. But never. Shane is just like, hey, I like you. Let me look at you. And then
that was cute.
The way they talk about it, feeling like I think this is Ilya, or I can't remember, but one of them says, like, it felt like they were in bed together after a long day. And again, it's just this version of like simple domesticity that they've never been able to have, just coming home to your partner and crashing on the bed and, talking about what's happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
Aww. I really wanted that call. I really wanted to be with him. And this was after the funeral as well. I needed some kind of comfort from him.
Yeah.
And I was also able to see the damn bedroom, so...
Yeah. And we just get Ilya's inner monologue is so, he's not trying to like tamp down all his thoughts of Shane. Like he like acknowledges his sappy expression. There's a bit where he's looking at Shane's freckles scrunched under his glasses, and he thinks like he almost died just from how like cute it is or adorable it is. he's still cheating vocally. He's like saying things in Russian. He says, I love you in Russian again.
Yes.
To Shane, but it's nice that yes, he's still having to hide it externally, but he's not trying to talk himself out of the feelings. Like he's trying to talk himself out of a future, but he's no longer trying to like deny that he has these feelings for Shane.
Oh, finally, we're getting there slowly.
Slowly but surely.
Yes.
And then they do talk about Shane's like other dalliances with other men.
I was so surprised because in the show, I really believed Shane was not having anything with anyone. Well, besides Rose. But yeah, in the book, we learned that he had at least 2 more experiences. One when he was in Mexico, and then when he was in Los Angeles or Florida.
LA,
and because he just couldn't, he really needed.
It'd been so long.
Release.
He couldn't. Yeah. Fair enough, babes. Fair enough.
Fair enough. It's just funny because they happened and they were good, but I know that in his head he was just thinking, I want Ilya. I'm sure he was imagining Ilya in my head.
Yeah, because he literally, this is the amazing thing. He says out loud, they weren't you. He's like, they just weren't. And then he said they weren't you. And Ilya thinks hearing that will ruin him because Shane has been so open with his fucking feelings now. Like, I think so much more than the show, which I do understand because a lot has to happen. I don't think we could have multiple phone calls. It'd be boring to watch on screen. Yeah. But the way Shane is just so free and easy with all of the ways that he is like out loud telling Ilya that he thinks about him, he wants him, nobody else matches up to him. It's amazing.
I definitely see. Yes, because with Shane, we had a lot of him being like, I have all of these feelings. But it's nothing. It's not what I think. It's not even something that is, I didn't think, but your inner, I don't know, part of your mind has already thought about it, but you're constantly shutting down. But I do feel Shane is a kind of a type of person who, when he has set his mind about something, that's it. You know, like he's not going back. So he has already said to Ilya at the end of Tampa, he likes him. It feels like there's something between them. So he's not going to go back about that. It's just going to continue. Yeah. But yeah, Ilya is the one I think he's finding hard to believe. I don't know, like that it is real. Not that the feelings aren't there. It's just this is actually happening.
I think it's fear as well that...
Yeah.
Kind of like when he said, look, when can I have you for as long as I want you? But then when Shane says, come to my cottage, he's like, oh no. Because I think that Ilya is so afraid of this actually happening. Yeah. Because that makes him vulnerable.
Yeah.
He can admit to the feelings within himself, but he can't admit what that could mean if they only gave it a chance. And he's scared of even reveling in it just now because then when it gets taken away, it'll be harder. Whereas Shane is just like, I haven't figured out the future yet, but this is how I feel right now. So
exactly.
I'm just going to say it.
Yeah. And for him, it's fine for now. For him, it's fine. When there's actually a moment where they have to decide what's going to happen next, he takes his time. He thinks about it and it comes up. But because it's not a question at the stage they are now, he's fine.
Yeah, true.
Just different ways of thinking. I think it's so funny, and I think that's why they work really well.
I agreed. Yeah. Okay, I have a big question.
Yes.
Are you still grossed out when Shane kisses his fingers and touches them to the camera?
As long as it's used, honestly, I don't care. You do you, boo. You do you, boo.
I think it's really sweet. It genuinely crumbles all of my heart.
Yeah.
Every time. And Ilya feeling that is fucking adorable as well. Because it's such a couple thing to do.
I do think it's really cute.
Yeah.
I think it's just a way for him to show his love for him.
But that's also why then Ilya then decides it has to end. Because now his heart is involved. It's going to hurt so fucking much.
Yeah. Crazy babe. Crazy thought.
I
But yeah.
know. I'm also just like, because he says, I think one of them says something like, there's no like guidelines around what to do in this situation because the NHL haven't even considered that it could ever happen. And I just want to scream, like, how did you not think that this could happen? Because I don't know how to say this, but workplace romances are so common. It's such a common way to meet your partner is at work. Maybe not like in the same team as you, but like in the same department, you go to the same Christmas parties, you're in the same crew. And like also when you're at that level of success and pressure, there's very few people that would be able to understand, you know, the weight that's on your shoulders, the intensity of the training, the fact that your schedule is entirely dictated, like they have no control. They also have to fly to different places. Like it's such a difficult job to have a partner alongside that, of course, people will hook up within the league because they have so much in common. And again, the only reason that it has never occurred to them is homophobia. It's the expectation.
That's the only reason why they never thought about it.
That this rough, aggressive sport must be straight men.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to scream. You're going to hate the NHL in season 2. Just putting that out there.
No.
You are going to, particularly the NHL commissioner is going to be like public enemy number 1. And so horrible. Through all of this, Ilya thinks it is impossible because if they get caught, he'll be sent back to Russia. But he also doesn't want to ruin Shane's career. He has to get out now before it hurts even more. And then it's not explicitly said, but we get the impression that Ilya cries for the first time in 10 years after this phone call.
Yes.
That he lets it all finally come out.
Yeah.
Which I love. People should cry more. It's very healthy.
Yeah. But I also feel like sometimes they just won't come until something in your body finally lets them pour out, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that was the moment for Ilya.
Yeah, like he's worked so hard to contain it.
Yeah.
That it probably, he wouldn't even be able to if he tried now because he's so used to pushing it down, putting it in a box, moving on. Yeah, I can't relate. I cry all the time. And if I need a good cry and it won't come, I put on the prom episode of Buffy. The spoilers for Buffy, if you haven't seen it, it was 20 years ago, get over it. But at the prom, they give her this like award for class protector. Because even though she thought that she was being secret, this whole time everybody knows that she's the reason that they've stayed alive. And then she dances with Angel, and every single time that 5 minutes of television will just open the floodgates, and I will be absolutely sobbing.
No, I do find that I do struggle. And I think that's one of the reasons, I know I talk a lot about this, but that's one of the reasons I think I watch a lot of K-dramas. And I do choose sometimes specifically, depending on how I'm feeling. Sometimes I go and I watch a specific one that will let me just pour it out. And then I feel like shit because it was too much. Because sometimes I go strong. Sometimes I feel well, but sometimes I'm like, no, I'm too open. Like it's too raw, and I feel like,
it's too vulnerable.
Yeah. So sometimes it can be a lot. But I do think it comes from sometimes not being able to cry when I want to cry. It's really like it just doesn't come out. So when it comes out, it can be too much, and then you can cope with your day, and everything feels like it's the end of the world.
I have all those feelings. I just cry anyway. I'll cry because I'm frustrated, not even sad. I'll cry because I'm happy. Tears will just fall from my eyes.
Yeah. But
whatever emotion.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I wish it happened that way.
You have some of mine and I'll have some of yours. Sometimes it's too much.
Okay, Okay. What happens next?
Okay. We're chapter 21. It's April 2017. Yeah. They're playing against each other on the ice, and Shane hits the deck, facilitated by Cliff Marlowe. And Ilya is just fucking terrified. He won't leave his side.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Shane is like, we're not alone. They can see us.
Yes, they can see us. And he doesn't care. Let me know how it is. And then they say spinal board.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why.
Panic.
Yeah, I didn't think he was like that. It seemed quite strong. I just didn't think he would be like a spinal. I don't know. I just didn't think much. In my head, I was like, this is not going to finish like this. They're going to be fine.
Oh, I thought he was dead. I thought he was dead. And Tony was like, get up, you fucking idiot. Shake it off. Shake off. I'm like, oh my God, call the Undertaker.
Yeah. We're now, even with the Cottage part, I'm quite worried with Shane because he still says he still get headaches. And I'm like, are you all right? Are you sure you are all right? Like, go check. In my head, get better. While I was watching the TV show, I was like, get better soon. Taking too long.
Oh my God. He had a broken collarbone. And Yuna does the whole like stop staring at your screen because he's concussed. So he's not allowed to have screens.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that would be me like that's Shane. The end of the world for me. But
yeah, I'd have to read a physical book for a change. I don't think I would cope very well.
Yeah, because I'm like, what am I supposed to do with the time? Yeah, that would be me.
Yeah. And then we get the visit to Ilya from Ilya to Shane in hospital, and I love we get this little shout out to Yuna because Shane says Marlowe probably doesn't want to meet my mom in a dark alley because like she'd beat him up. And I'm like, yes, that is exactly who Yuna is. She would 100% take someone down if they hurt her son.
Yeah, and I do love them all saying, oh, he's really, like, Marlowe is quite mad up with himself. And Ilya's like,
didn't mean it.
Yeah, I was almost killing him or something like that.
Yeah, because he had to stay up all night waiting for news coverage because no one would have called him, obviously.
Yes.
Like, can you imagine being there when your partner, because, I mean, they are, right? Being there when your partner is knocked out cold, is taken away on a spinal board, and no one cares if you know that he's all right. So you just have to wait on the news catching up to, like, give you any indication of whether or not they're okay. And then he talks about, and I'm sure he talks about like just going to Shane's apartment because he needs to do something. Like he thinks about, could I just go to his apartment because I just need to be around his things. And then
he was suffering and was telling him what was happening. Yeah.
And then when he imagines like moving in with Shane to take care of him because he's like, I would just give it all up and move in with him and bring him soup and like, I think Ilya would just drop everything for Shane. If he thought that it would be real, I think he would literally just drop whatever and go all in. So. Even though he's like, I want to just move in with him and be his caretaker. I stayed up all night. I have to go visit him at the hospital because I can't wait another second until I see him. He was still planning on ending things that night before Shane got hurt.
He was.
Yeah.
They are always talking about something like that.
Torture.
Yeah, I don't think he would have, to be honest. I don't think
he would have been able to.
Yeah. Because the thing is, if he really wanted, he could have done that before the game.
Yeah.
Because this is not going to be their last game. It was never going to be their last game. It would be a game before the next championship.
Yeah.
And, they just love they would have the idea. Postponing. Yeah. They love the idea of them being able to do it. They're just not able.
Yeah, it's like a safety net of, but I will end it. It's like when you're trying to quit something
Oh, yeah.
And
Who is
you
that
think,
not being
I'll do
there?
it tomorrow. Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I can do it if I want to. I just don't want to
Exactly.
right now. I'll do it when I want to.
Yeah, the million reasons why you're not doing it.
Yeah. But thankfully, he doesn't, and he can't now because Shane is in hospital. He's never going to do it while Shane's in hospital.
Yes, doesn't happen the same way. I do like their scene together. Yeah, I think it brought different things for us.
Yeah, I really like the way Hudson Williams plays the "Will you come to my cottage?" But I love the bit where I think it's after the cottage invite. Shane says, "Haven't you ever wanted more time?" We obviously don't get that in the show, but it's so indicative of this has been going on for nearly 10 years. But they've never actually been able to spend significant lengths of time together. It's all these stolen moments. It's like a tapestry of stolen moments over 10 years.
Yeah.
And he just wants to revel in it for once, not have to worry about curfew or what time is the game at, or someone might see me leave the hotel. I can't, because in Tampa, he doesn't even stay the whole night in case someone sees him leave in the morning. So having this, when him putting that out there, I want to spend time with you.
Yeah.
Adorable.
And Ilya needs to hear all of those lines.
Yeah.
He needs to see how much Shane wants to spend time with him for him to finally believe it.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's good for him to have that that verbal confirmation. Because Shane has spent a lot of their time together being the one that is not interested. So I think, words of affirmation is probably exactly what Ilya needs to hear now to even remotely believe that it's true.
True.
And then we go from the hospital, just like the show, we go from the hospital. We're now in May. Shane's at his parents' house. He is thinking about, he's sort of ruminating over whether or not he can come out to them. But then Una asks about Rose and he chickens out, which I think is totally fair because...
Yeah. There was a part where he was almost going to say, but then she continues with the questioning and he decides, not today.
Which, I think you would. If you're trying to figure out how to say I'm gay and then your mum literally asks you about this thing that makes her think that you are straight, I just think, I would have bailed as well. I'd have been like, yes, never mind. Yeah. We do get Shane thinking he's so in love with Ilya, but can never tell him that. He imagines texting the words to Ilya because it's so difficult to keep them inside that now that Shane's feelings are just bursting out of the seams. But he also thinks, and this is pretty much Ilya's plan, but he also thinks that Ilya is going to end things after the playoffs. He doesn't want it to end. He wants to fight for it, but he thinks that that's impossible. And then he thinks about how, what a sick joke it is that now he's realised how he feels. It will all come to an end. And then he's thinking the same thing. The only safe thing is to walk away, similar to Ilya. And I think in the book it's so much more clear that they legitimately cannot see how this would work in real life. They cannot fathom it, because I think at this point in the show, a lot of people are kind of like, why don't you just, you have feelings, just admit them and just be together. But it's
in the book
explicit
is more
here
palpable.
that they just don't believe that could be.
That's the thing. I think until, and even then, until Scott has this big moment, they really don't believe anything can come out of this.
Because that's the thing. They're not just rivals. Nobody in the league is out.
Yeah. And yes, and even when there's someone out, then them being rivals is also another big part.
It's the other factor.
Yeah. And them thinking, well, we can't still come out, because if we come out, then it's going to be the rival bait. So we actually have to still be if we want to have this continue, which they go through in the next episode, they know that it has to be phased out. Oh.
It has to be like a planned, carefully structured precision. Yeah. They can't just drop a bomb. Even though Ilya does think, I'll just kiss him on the ice. He knows that he can't. Yeah. And then finally, they're texting each other because Scott Hunter is about to win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
We get confirmation Ilya is not sleeping with Svetlana anymore.
Yeah.
And it's just dropped as like a throwaway line.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, my guy, you have just said that you were going to break up with Shane. You'd have to break up with Shane. You need to break up with Shane. But what you're actually doing is like stopping all of your other connections because you just want to be with him. And then Scott kisses Kip and I'm coming to the cottage.
Yes. Love it. Just the whole way and it happens just like in the show, right? He doesn't even say anything else. Because I think Shane says,
that's the last scene. Yeah. He says, I'm coming to the cottage, and Shane is like, what? And then it just cuts.
Yeah. Yes.
I'll believe in anything. Yeah.
And end of part 4 in the book. And start of one of the parts. I won't try to put numbers because it is what it is. But yeah, love that.
Yeah, that is forever going to be iconic. I feel like in 20 years' time, you'll be out and there'll be somebody with like, I'm coming to the cottage merch on.
Definitely.
We'll all collectively gush inside. Any final thoughts on chapters 17 to 22?
No, just that scene is still iconic and will always be iconic. And I don't know nothing else.
Yeah. Same. I just think that this is like the perfect, we spoke about it last episode, where the book gives us this little secret passageway into their inner thoughts and feelings that the show couldn't possibly give us. And I think this stretch is probably like one of the best examples of that, because we get their conversations as a couple. Because even though in the show we know that they love each other, they don't really talk to each other that much in the show. You know, like they don't actually, they obviously do, it's just off camera. So I really appreciate that, even though it's quite a big deviation, that we get this, just them chatting to each other, them liking each other, taking comfort in each other is so basic, but it's so forbidden for them. Yeah, I love this little bit, and I hate my imagination because I know it's not doing as good a job as the TV show would with these scenes, but I guess I'll just have to get over it.
You have to live with that.
I just have to live with it. Next week, we are covering episode 6 of the TV show, which are chapters 23 all the way through to the epilogue. We won't be covering Dinner with Hayden, but if you want to hear our thoughts, let us know, and we'll probably do like a social media post about it instead. Yeah. And yeah, join us next week. We would love to see you there. And in the meantime, if you could help us out with all of the algorithm nonsense, we would so appreciate it. So leaving us a 5-star review if you can, hitting the subscriber button so that you get notified for the next episode. And you can find us on Threads, Instagram and TikTok at Yap Island Pod. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.